if you would, can you share a little bit about this experience, how you get involved, how you got involved, and what you see in the future with Sosana?
Yes, sir, Mark. I'd be happy to do that. The first thing I look at, I go down for the deep stuff when I get involved with any opportunity. Don't jump very quickly or easily. I'm known for that, and people get frustrated at me taking such a long time. But I always like to know the owners, and so it just so happened that a friend of mine, Mark Ross, who is co-founder of Sosana. We've known each other probably for about 3 years now, and he and I probably talk more than any other of my network marketing friends or my entrepreneur friends than I ever have. So we've got a lot of things in common. He's got 5 kids. I got 6. His wife's name's Valerie. So is my wife. So, but we have a lot of deep things in common with faith and so to speak. And so he's always been my crypto guy. I've always looked to him when it comes to finding out about a crypto project here or there. I always call upon him, and so I know him. We've talked so many times on the phone, on Zoom calls, etc. And so knowing him, though, we've been talking about Sosana now for months. And so David Track, his long-term business partner for 20 years now. Now, I never knew David prior to Mark, but Mark introduced me to David Track. And so he assures me that Mark is a man of integrity, and they've been business partners for 20 years now. And they go way back. So David originally came up with the idea of just having this project as a meme coin. Meme coins are very popular. As a matter of fact, it's the most popular thing going in the crypto space right now. There's over 10,000 uh, coins launched on the Solana network every single day. Most of them are meme coins, and really, frankly, just a pump and dump. Most of them, but there's a lot of meme coins out there. And so David thought, you know what? Let's make fun of the industry. Sosana, meaning shiny object syndrome and nothing accomplished, as you can see on the screen there that Mark has up. And so, it was a great idea. It's a fantastic website. They got a lot of funny things behind it. If you scroll through the website, it's just got a little bit more meaning to it besides the average meme coin, which is just a picture of a darn dog, and that's about it. And so there was some substance behind the meme coin. Well, Mark had a vision one night and called David the very first thing the next morning, and he talked to him about the introduction of this voting process that would help people like you and I, the average person, build a portfolio of different projects of getting in on the ground floor of these of legitimate companies that's been forged through the voting process, if you will, and it made sense. And so they added that, and so it's quite something. We went through a beta version of this of Sosana about 2 months ago, and I turned literally. I turned 4 figures, like you said, into over $250,000 in about 2.5 weeks. Now, there's always disclaimers, and I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a country boy from Alabama. So there's no claims here or anything like that, and so there's no guarantees. But I'll tell you, these guys have put together something that is rock solid. I believe that this company, Sosana, will be a household name uh, for generations to come. I don't see anything stopping it. They have everything is legitimate, everything is legal. They have legal counsel on board that's part of their group. They meet every Tuesday. Six of the team members, one of them being their attorney and the other one being their developer, who actually helped develop the Exodus wallet. And so we've got something here, in my opinion, that can go far into the future, and we can win many championships, just like Alabama has done through the years. I think we're going to win many championships here with this company, and a lot of people are going to win here and be blessed by this company. And so I see Mark on there, so I'm going to phase out and let you guys. I'll hand it back over to you, Mark.
All right, awesome. Awesome. So now, before we bring the co-founder Mark Ross on, I'm going to bring my good friend Brian on. So Brian is on the development team as well. He's on the team of the project, and he has a very unique way of explaining things. And Brian, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey man, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Mark, and I appreciate you so much, man. Can you hear me clearly?
I do. I do. Welcome to the call.
Good stuff, man. So I'm glad you brought me up first because I'm telling you, when Mark Ross, after he's done talking about it, there's nothing else to say. So if you would have brought me on second, I would just been sitting there like, yeah, what he said.
That's
I'm
right.
Mark's an absolute genius in this business. It was one of the things that attracted me to this project in the first place. About very much what Keith just said, that he's someone who has a reputation, has established himself for years and years now of being an expert at finding incredible projects in the crypto space, but always kind of leading with the idea that I want to really help people, and he realizes that his number one currency that he's been able to build up is trust. So, I was so excited when I heard about this project,
Amen.
and again, Mark Hamlin, when you called me up and said, "Hey, man, I just heard you were involved with Sosana," I got so fired up, man, because I was like, "Oh my God, like this is I'm serious. This is like the assembling of the Avengers, right? And they're going to go out and do some damage here, man. Like seriously, and I love it because
That's
I
true.
think that what we're doing, Keith mentioned that this is going to be a household name. It is. It's going to be a household name, but it's going to be that project that everybody wants to be a part of. And I know everyone says that about their project, right? We got the greatest project in the world. We got the greatest token in the world. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But when you hear just one of the elements, right? We've got so many elements here, but Keith talked about that degen voting pool that we put together, and the ability for people to be incentivized to go out there and not only nominate quality projects, but then do for voters to do their research and then vote on their quality projects because of what's on the table for them. I'm not going to steal Mark's thunder. I'm going to let him explain that in detail. But I'll tell you what, just that one thing alone, if that's all that Sosana was, if Sosana was nothing else but that, this would be the hottest project on the planet. This would
That's
have
right.
people just jumping out of planes without parachutes so they can get to the ground faster and sign up. It would be that type of thing. But when you
Amen.
realize that's just a piece, just a small piece of what we have, and that's just a small piece of what we have in 2.0, not to mention what's coming in 2.5 and 3.0. Guys, I'm telling you right now, man, right time, right place with the right team. All you have to do is make the right decision, take the right action, and you're going to get the right result that you've been looking for, potentially some of you for all your lives, man, which is the
Mm.
ability to, we say we built this for the people who were currently afflicted with the syndrome, the shiny object syndrome, and the people who are in recovery, right? And we are clearly not laughing at you. We're laughing with you because we've all been there. But now
Right.
this is the rescue. And sometimes you have to be willing to participate in your own rescue. And that's what, Mark and Dave have been able to put together. I'm excited to be a part of this project, man, just kind of to go along and contribute where I can. But again, man, I don't want to steal any of Mark Ross's thunder, man. He's an amazing, amazing guy, but he's also incredible. They say if you have a great product, you don't have to be a salesperson. We have a great product, and he's a great salesperson. So this is going to be an incredible blend, man. I'm going to sit back and just listen. I can't wait to hear this presentation.
All right. So with that said, we'd like to bring you up, Mr. Mark Ross, man. Really appreciate what you have created here. The floor is yours.
Hey, thanks a lot. And I can't take the credit because David Track is the brain behind the concept initially. Like he called me up, kind of like Keith talked about, and he's like, I got the perfect idea for a meme coin. And the thing is, we were already disillusioned at that time from what the obvious problem is on the Solana ecosystem. And we all know that Solana is the #6 project in blockchain right now, probably soon to be #5. I think they're going to pass up Binance. I really believe that.
Yep.
And it's grown so incredibly fast because it's so scalable. It's such a great blockchain. It's virtually free to do transactions. I can't say it's free, but it's pennies. And you compare that to Ethereum, it's faster, it's cheaper, it's got all that going for it. However, that by design created another problem. And the other problem is that the market can't keep up with the supply. Like there's too much supply, not enough demand. That's something I got from David, you know. And that is there's way too many projects popping up. So when David called me, I thought it was the perfect meme coin, and that's all we thought this was when we first started. Like when he called me up, he goes, "I got it. I'm going to call it Sosana." And as you know, stands for shiny object syndrome and nothing accomplished. Now we were laughing about it. Usually, almost every single person that when I tell them what it stands for, they all laugh. Why? Because they can all relate to it. We've all been scammed. We've all been rug pulled. We've all been through it, and we're tired of it. And we don't want to be a part of that. That's the part of the industry that we don't want anything to do with, right? And that's the
Right.
kind of the black eye in crypto. We don't want that. Nobody in crypto wants that except the scammers, right? They're the ones who want to be able to do it. So he tells me about it. He gets into building this website. He creates, which later, once I came to him with this idea, he creates this awesome video that you guys got to see. It's only 1:49. It's all about Rick and Morty. It's hilarious. It's awesome. But what do meme coins typically have that make them successful? Number one, relevancy. They're very relevant. So they build a following very quickly, right? Because people can relate to it. Number two, it's very entertaining. It's humorous. And so, or maybe it's a political issue, right? That people can just gravitate to, kind of like Peanut the Squirrel. So that's the thing, and people are constantly on the Solana ecosystem looking for that next one. But again, the problem is there's literally thousands and thousands of them every single day coming out on Pump Fun and launching because it's become way too easy for the average person to put together like $50, launch it on Pump Fun, and throw mud against the wall and see if it sticks. And of course, 99.99% of them don't go anywhere. Probably don't even have a development team, right? They're just junk. And so that has kind of, I mean, there's people that have come into the Solana ecosystem that they've experienced that and they just walk away. They lose their money and they're like, why am I doing this? What's the point? So that's the problem, right? That the Solana, as amazing as it is, because it is so amazing, it made it easy. And let me tell you, some of the most successful projects in all of business are the ones that make it user friendly and easy. And that's what Solana is. So it's awesome. But here's a way that, in our opinion, that we think we can actually solve the problem. So I called up Dave one day after, I woke up. I had this idea that came to me, and I was like, Dave, I mean, this meme coin you've got in and of itself could just take off. I really do think it could go viral. But I think not only could we really kind of expose the problem and relate to each other and laugh about it, but we could actually solve the problem. And so I started going into, I think we should add an incredible utility, and here's basically what it is. I said, and by the way, we kind of refined it later. I mean, Dave, with his mind and his incredible work ethic, he's the most tenacious. I mean, I haven't seen anybody that works harder. As far as this guy can literally go 24 hours in a day and not sleep and work. Like that's what he's capable of doing. And I can't do that. That's not even in my blood, right? But he's that kind of guy, but he also has an incredible mind that comes up with these intricate ideas that he can build around other ideas and build off of it. So he built something off of this that made it even more incredible. And Brian, you mentioned, I mean, it's got so many facets to it, but it's just this one that I'm gonna bring out right now to tell you what is so incredible. And Keith, you touched on it too. It's this voting mechanism. And I said, what if we built a community, kind of like a safe haven, where people could nominate their favorite projects on the Solana ecosystem? Because the truth is, let's face it, 99.9% of them are not really good, but because there's so many, there are really good quality projects on the Solana ecosystem as well, and we should uplift those. So what if we created a safe haven where the community, and there's strength in numbers, people could come in, and we later decided that if you hold $500 of Sosana, you can nominate your favorite project from the Solana ecosystem and put it into our voting process. There's a two-week phase where people can nominate their favorite project, but you must hold at least $500 worth of Sosana to do that. Secondly, we can allow every community member to be a part of the voting process by just simply holding $50 worth of Sosana, connecting their wallet to our DApp, that's the decentralized application that allows people to participate. So what happens is from Saturday all the way until the next Saturday, there's a nominating period, okay? A nomination period. It's 2 weeks. 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, we open up the voting to show everyone what those nominated projects are. So for 2 weeks, nobody even knows. Even me and David don't know. We don't know what projects have been nominated, but on Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, they're all put out on display. People can then connect their wallet from Saturday, 7 p.m. to Monday, 7 p.m., and they can vote for their favorite project. And here's what's amazing. Monday at 7 p.m., we announce the winner. We actually show a top 10 listing. Okay, there's badge earnings. There's all kinds of neat stuff that goes with this. That David, with his incredible mind, and by the way, I'm no genius. I'm just a normal guy that honestly came up with a genius idea. And anyone can do that at some point. But this is kind of how it came out. So when the winner is revealed, everyone has 1 hour to see what happens. Now, what happens in that process? Well, along with this whole thing, we have what's called a 3% transaction tax that occurs every single time there's a buy or a sell. So every single transaction, buys and sells, total volume that comes in through the decentralized exchange, 3% of that goes toward a tax. Now, I don't like taxes any more than anybody else. But the problem on the Solana network more than any other that I've seen is they have trading bots that are out there. Trading bots will come in on your decentralized exchange of any token on the Solana ecosystem typically, because there are no transactions. There's virtually almost no transactions. They're in the pennies on the Solana ecosystem. So trading bots have taken advantage of that environment. And unfortunately, I'm sure many of you can relate to this. You've gone to a Solana chart on some token that's on Solana. You see a $10,000 transaction, and 30 seconds later, you see the same wallet that bought $10,000 worth of that token sell it for $10,050. What are they doing? They're pushing the buy pressure up, and then they're immediately taking a profit by selling it and making a measly $50. But what does that do to the community? It actually leaches out of the liquidity pool. It takes from the community. So what we decided is we're one of the few projects actually we're not the first to come up with a transaction tax, don't get me wrong. But there's very few people doing it on the Solana ecosystem because meme coins think it's a big selling point to say no transactions, no buys, no sells, no transactions, and everybody thinks that's a great thing. But the problem is you're still going to pay a tax, and you're going to pay it to the trading bots that are leeching it out of the community. What we decided to do with that 3% transaction tax is eliminate the trading bots. So now there's no trading bot on the planet that's going to want to pay 6% every time they do a transaction, right? Because it's 3% in, 3% out. They can't make money that way, so it gets rid of them. Gone. But what that 3% is going to do is it's going to turn around, it's going to reward the community like never seen, okay? What I'm about to explain to you, and Keith and Brian touched on, has literally never been done in crypto history. And when you understand it, you're going to be blown away with what could happen. And this is why we're going to go viral, okay? Now, Keith had mentioned to you that we had about a 2.5 week, well, no, let me go back. It's about a 6-week period from March 27th. I don't remember when it occurred, but we went through this period of where we proved this business model. And this is without any kind of an affiliate program, all the bells and whistles that have come out since that I'm about to share with you. And we just took this concept, okay? Which again, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I just want to make sure you guys have a context of like what happened and how we proved it out. Is that what happens on Monday at 7 p.m., the winner's revealed. All the while, there's that 3% transaction feeding in where 1% feeds the liquidity pool, which helps stabilize the token rather than pulling out of the liquidity pool, right? Another 1% feeds the marketing wallet because every project needs funds for marketing. So we have that. And when you find out what we're going to do with that marketing wallet, you're going to be blown away. The third one, though, this is what's different. This is what no one's ever done in history. Because not everybody, but there's a lot of projects that have fed their liquidity pool and fed the marketing wallet. Nobody has done this. We created a separate wallet called the DGen Voter Bonus Wallet. Think about this for a second. Just listen very carefully. where 1% of every single transaction during that 2-week period feeds into that wallet. What is the wallet used for? Well, as I said, when the winner is announced, that token, that project that's been nominated, remember, this is a nomination process, an election process that forges those tokens through that election process and brings out the most quality project that the community chooses. That alone makes it a safe haven where people can come together and try to find quality projects. We all have the same goal. But what's amazing is the reward, because let's just say we had a week where we had, or 2-week period where we had $1 million in transactions, okay? 1% of that, that's all the buys and sells, would be $10,000 sitting in that reward wallet. What we've done is we've made it so from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., there's a window of time where all the voters, whether they pick the winning token or not, they all have access to knowing what that DGen voter bonus wallet is going to purchase, what token, right? It's going to purchase the one that won the vote. And not only is it going to purchase that token, which could make an impact on that token, but it's also going to airdrop those tokens to everybody who voted for that winning token.
Yep.
Now, let me give you an example of what happened in our first vote. We had, I would say, probably about 150 members maybe at the time. This was our very first vote, and we brought it out. Now, on a small scale, just imagine, we had about $400,000 in transactions in that 2-week period, probably a little more than that because we brought it out, the first vote. That means just under $4,000 was actually sitting in that reward wallet. We had 11 people vote for the winning token. There were 13 projects, 11 people. It was kind of a close vote. It was like 11, 8, something like that.
Mhm.
Those 11 people received, now think about this, those 11 people only had to hold $50 worth of Sosana token in their wallet in order to vote. So when's the last time you ever saw a project say that you could hold $50 and get rewarded 7 to 8 times that? Because every one of those people, those 11 people, received about $370 to $380 worth of that winning token. Now think about that. That is unprecedented. That has never happened in history. That's on a small scale. Can you imagine how viral this can go when the synergy of this grows and grows and grows? Because think about it, folks. The bigger the pool gets, the bigger the rewards and the more excited people get. That's how viral it goes. This isn't just some meme token where someone came in and bought, oh, I really like this dog token. It's really cool. I'm going to buy it for 5 cents. And once it goes up to 50 cents, they just sell it and they're gone off to another project, or they've reached whatever goal they've tried to, right? No, in Sosana, everyone's going to want to stick around because every 2 weeks, there's a new ground floor potential opportunity. There's a new project that's been chosen by the community where you can receive rewards every 2 weeks. It's kind of gamified the pre-qualifying process of finding quality projects. Now, that has never been done. And this is a need, folks. We are fulfilling a need that the Solana ecosystem has by providing a safe haven to pull people out of all those rug pulls and scams and all the garbage and bring them into where there's strength in numbers, where a community can choose quality projects and help you build your portfolio. And in this case, if you've got just $50 in Sosana sitting in your wallet, you could potentially build your portfolio for free, showing up every 2 weeks to the election process. Now think about this. This means that eventually, now I'm not making any income claims, I'm not making any projections, but I'm going to tell you this is what I believe will happen. As we develop months down the road, as this thing grows virally because it gets bigger, we're going to potentially impact the price of token projects in a big, big way. Because if you have, for instance, as we grow as a community, imagine $100 million coming in a 2-week period. Let's just say 100. I'm just going to throw out an example. Again, I'm not making predictions, but I'm just saying, what if that happened? That means $1 million is going to be sitting in that voter pool. And you're going to hear stories, I think, in my opinion, of people that say, man, I've been a part of this Sosana thing,
Oh,
and I've been in it for like 3 months. And all I had to do was hold $50. Maybe the guy's from Nigeria, and that's the most he could put together. And he had $50, that could have potentially helped create wealth for him. Why? Because over that 3-month period, he was able to vote, and he won on particular projects that airdropped his wallet with greater value than he had to begin with, right? For doing nothing but just voting, just participating in the voting process. Imagine if he voted for a token and it rewarded him, say, $500 worth of that token. And then a month later, that token went up 10x. Maybe it went up 100x. Who knows, right? But I
Mhm.
believe there's going to be stories that occur like that. That's
Mhm.
the goal here, is to give people an opportunity to increase their chances of finding a quality project versus just throwing, just rolling the dice. There's strength in numbers in the community, and we're all in this community together. We all want to find the most quality projects. It's 100% decentralized. Even me and David do not know during the voting process who wins until it's revealed. It's completely decentralized, okay? And
Mhm.
that's important. It has to be that way. That's the reason it functions so well. It's completely run by the community. You guys are going to get to decide on these quality projects. And you can imagine what other projects will do when they get nominated. Think about it. We're going to bring in full communities of other projects that see what we're doing. And the bigger we get, the more viral this is going to go. I think we're going to get to a place where we build this thing so big that you can't even stop it, in my opinion. Those rewards are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the community is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And other
Right.
communities from other projects are going to come in and say, nominate us. We want to
That's right.
win the vote. And they're going to bring in their communities and they're going to vote for their token. And so we believe all of this will actually push the buy pressure up into the Sosana token, into what we believe will become a multi-billion-dollar project. And let me tell you something, if we get to the first billion, what's going to stop us from getting to the next? I believe this could be the #1 meme crypto utility-based project in crypto, in my opinion, because of this. Because what are people looking for? They're looking for a way to earn rewards. I mean, they're looking for a way to find quality projects. And we're not even competing with anyone. No one's ever done what we're doing, but we're actually uplifting other projects. So other projects are going to love us. They're going to love us. And you're going to see this viral effect occur. But let me tack on something more. Okay, I just told you what I believe that in and of itself can make this project go viral. But let me tell you how we're going to pour gas on the fire, because let me tell you, in the first 2.5 weeks of this project launching in the beta version, before we got scanned, which I'll come into and I'll explain here in a second, we actually went from less than a tenth of a penny to almost 20 cents. Okay, we were like 19 and change from a less than a tenth of a penny. Now you do the math. What is that? Like a 2,000%, or no, a 2,000x return or something like that? It's insane if you
That's
were
right.
there at the beginning. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just throwing it out there. This is a proven business model. We prove that it can work. We prove that the crypto community responds very well to this on a small scale. So only imagine what we're going to do whenever we bring out an affiliate program where people have a tremendous incentive to actually share the Sosana vision with other people. Because what we had before was literally just organic. It was just people coming in and interested in the project and telling their friends, right? But which is what just about every Beam project does. It just kind of starts off slow and it kind of grows virally that way, organically, or maybe they do some big marketing with influencers and whatnot. But imagine having an affiliate program where now you can actually earn commissions for bringing people into what we call the community hub and the affiliate program. And what you're looking at, I can see, I can actually see Mark is bringing up what happened to us. So let's go into that real quick. What happened in the first version? Well, you can see we exploded initially. If you see March 21st is the green candle on the far left, all the way up to the top, which I think is like April, what is it? April
Well,
12th, okay?
yeah,
From
well,
there, you saw we exploded. And then you saw, of course, some people taking some profits. But then one day I got a text from Keith and he said, hey, Mark, you need to go check out the chart. I don't know what's going on, but you need to check it out. I said, what's going on? He goes, check out the chart. I get to the chart and this is what I see. I see this big old long red bar and I'm like, what in the world just happened? In my opinion, at the time, my first reaction was, man, somebody got in really early and just sold a whole bunch of tokens, right? They just decided to cash out, which is really, I couldn't believe that, but that's what I thought. Then I looked at the transactions. And in the transactions, I saw a sale for 63 million and change in tokens. And I knew that our current circulating supply was probably not even 14 or 15 million tokens yet, right? We had
mhm,
these were tokens that weren't even brought out into circulation.
Right.
So that's when I knew, okay, we've either been hacked or our developer got a hold of this. And it turns out it was our developer, sadly. Now, our developer came from what we thought was a very reputable place. We got him on Fiverr. He had an excellent reputation. He had hundreds of reviews, 5-star rating. These are real historical results. The guy had been there for a long time. We interviewed him, and we brought him in, and we trusted him. And he built let's face it, he built an incredible decentralized application that worked. Look what we were able to do from March 27th through April 12th. We had incredible growth. The system worked. It was proven. But this guy was a bad actor. This guy was a bad person. He was a scammer, and we didn't know it. Now, I don't know if somewhere along the lines he saw a loophole or found a way in. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he planned it from the beginning or what happened. But he went into our back office. I shouldn't call it back office. He went in through our control panel. David could explain this way better than me, but he got
Mhm.
access to those tokens he shouldn't have had access to, and he dumped them on the market, which
Yeah. Yeah.
completely destroyed our liquidity pool. You can look
Right.
at the liquidity now. It says 3.3K. Okay.
Mhm.
So he took out all that money. Everybody was devastated. But I'll tell you what was amazing that happened, and it happened within a 24-hour period, is the entire community, without exception. I did not know a single person. The entire community came out and rallied in support and just said,
Yeah.
because David got out in front of this thing. We came out and we started telling everybody what had happened, and everybody got behind us. It was amazing. It was humbling. It was inspiring. I couldn't believe it. I was
Mhm.
calling some of my friends that had invested tens of thousands of dollars in our project that were saying they were more concerned about me and the project than they were about themselves. That's the kind of community that we have. And I can't wait to reward that community, because let me tell you, every single person in that community is going to get airdropped every single token that they had at the point of this, this scam, what happened. They're all going to
Mhm.
get it. And when we launch this, you could call it Sosana 2.0 if you want to. When we relaunch with the new contract, the new smart contract, this is how we're going to make sure this absolutely cannot happen ever again. Number
Yeah.
one, we've hired Kapil. Kapil is from India. He has a brick and mortar business. He's licensed. This guy's out in the open. David has actually known him for 2 years, over 2 years. And you might be asking already, well, why didn't he just go with Kapil in the first place? Well, Kapil is a big dog. This guy's a big, uh, you know, developer. And he helped put together the Exodus wallet, if you've ever heard of that. This guy's been around. He knows his stuff. He is very expensive, and he does not do things quickly because there's people standing in line to work with him. So that's why David thought, hey, we could find another developer that's not as in demand, that still has the capability, which he
Yeah.
did. It just, the guy built an incredible DApp. I mean, everything's great. Everything works. And by the way, we still have that, and even better because of this new developer. We brought in on this new developer, but not only do we trust this new developer and know that we can trust him, but to make it so that the community knows they can trust it, we're going to audit the contract. So we're going to put the smart contract through an audit. We plan on launching July 28th, give or take 3 days, because it does take 1 to 3 days for the audit. And that's when we believe this new Sosana 2.0 is going to launch, this proven business model. And we think it's going to go viral. Now, back to the affiliate program. Think about this. The affiliate
Mhm.
program is going to have 3 levels. It's only affiliate. It is not a multi-level marketing business. Not that I'm against multi-level marketing. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. And some of you guys might hold something against me when I tell you, but I love multi-level marketing. It's made me a lot of money throughout the years. I've been full-time at home for 25 years, in part due to multi-level marketing. I love it. But it has a stigma because there's been a lot of bad actors in MLM, especially as it pertains to crypto. So we wanted to create a really super rewarding affiliate program for every one of our community members to choose whether or not they want to participate. It's not mandatory. You could just buy the Sosana token and just participate in the voting and not be a part of the affiliate program. Let me tell you why everybody's going to want to be in the affiliate program. And when I say everybody, it's everybody's going to want to be a part of this. Whether you refer people or not, you're going to want an affiliate membership. Here's why. You're going to get access to, and I'm going to tell you some of the products first. This isn't why, but some of the products are education. So we want to bring in the masses. We want their first experience to be Sosana, and we want to educate those people how not to get Sosanaed, how not to get scammed, and how to find quality projects, namely in the beginning on the Solana ecosystem, okay, first and foremost. So we want to educate them, but we also are putting together, and this is something David thought of, which is just genius. a certified educator program. So a trainer, a person that will come in from our community. Okay, they have to come from our community. They come on and they literally go into education and training on how to become a certified trainer through our community. And then they take an exam, and then we put them through an interview process to choose them as a certified trainer. Why? Because certified trainers, you and I both know there's people all out there that have tried to get into crypto, and they've gone through all kinds of tutorials and education. They still need someone to hold their hand. They just got to have someone to help them. And that's what the certified trainer is going to be there for them as an affiliate, right? Whenever they come in, and they're going to be able to pay them in Sosana. Keep in mind, everything I'm talking to you about is going to push buy pressure into the Sosana token. Why? Because nobody can join the affiliate program without first purchasing Sosana and using Sosana to join the affiliate program. You're going to be able to, if you're part of the first 1,000 members, we're going to call you a founding member, which means you're going to be able to join by purchasing $99 worth of Sosana and using that Sosana to buy the affiliate membership. Okay, and that's going to be a one-time for life. If you can get in those first 1,000 members, which we think will fill up really quick when we launch, you're going to have that $99 membership for life, access to everything that the community hub and the education has to offer. You're going to have access to it. If you come outside of that 1,000 members, it's going to be $149 for a basic membership and $249 for a premium membership, of which you're going to be able to see what that entails. Now, alongside that, let me tell you why I'm getting back to why I told you everybody's going to want to become an affiliate. Why? Because it's also going to give you access to the community hub. And there's so many things in it, I'm not even going to bring it all out right now, but I'm going to bring out one thing that you're all going to be interested in. And that is it's going to give you access to pre-launch projects. These are people on the Solana ecosystem that haven't launched their projects yet. And they're going to come to our ecosystem and our community and our hub and the affiliate through the affiliate program. And they're going to want to introduce their project to all of our members of the community. Why? Because the bigger we get, the more they're going to want to do it, right? It's only going to cost them $299 to become a member of our community hub, right? Which you, by the way, can bring on and refer. And I'll tell you about the compensation later. But what that's going to do is once a month to start. Remember I told you about the marketing wallet? Well, half of that marketing wallet, 50% of it, is going to be used. And this is an ingenious idea that David came up with. 50% of that marketing wallet, as it's collecting 1% of every transaction just over and over that 2-week period, no, 1 month period in this case, is going to go towards rewarding those who vote for the winning project that's voted for of the pre-launch. So these pre-launch projects are going to be KYC'd. In other words, they can't even enter our community until we know who they are, right? They can't be scammers. People don't put themselves out there in front of you and dox themselves unless they're legitimate. So they've got to go through that process, number one. Number two, this is amazing because now you're going to have access to it. As our community gets bigger, I told you there's strength in numbers. There's going to be all kinds of members in our community that know about projects that are pre-launch before they launch, and they're going to bring them to the community hub, right? And those people that are in that pre-launch that own those tokens, that own that project, are going to want to expose themselves to you, and they're going to want to win the vote, right? They're going to want to get themselves out there. And even if they don't win the vote, they're still going to want a platform where they can expose themselves, because let's face it, I mean, even if they don't win the vote, there's a lot of people that will discover their project and think it's incredible. And that's what they want. They want eyes on their project. That's what the Sosana Community Hub is going to give them access to. And that's going to forge, once again, all of these pre-launch projects through an election process where you can vote. And if you vote for the winner, you're going to get airdropped those pre-launch tokens as a result of that, because that wallet is going to go and buy those pre-launch tokens and come back and reward you for that. Now, who wouldn't want? Who that's already a part of Sosana participating in the voting process and wants those rewards is not going to want to have access to projects that nobody knows about except us, pre-launch projects, right? Who's not going to want to have access to that? Everybody's going to want to have access to it. And it's going to gamify the pre-launch project, but it's also going to bring about tremendous quality projects and credibility, right? Because they have to be KYC'd before they can even enter our community. So you can see all of that synergy developing. Now, I'm going to stop there because there are other things developing. David has incredible things that he's coming to. But what we believe is that mechanism, this incredible qualifying, rewarding voting mechanism, nominating mechanism, is going to make this project go absolutely viral. And when you talk about the affiliate program, it's basically 30% front line, 30% second line, 20% third line. However, you have to qualify for that compensation. I'm not going to go into the qualifiers. I mean, Brian, if you want to mention it, that's fine. But there's a qualifying process to help you max it out, okay? But it could pay out up to 80% in the affiliate program. Wait until you get a load of it. And knowing that, realizing that that incentive, we didn't need an incentive. We didn't need an affiliate program to make this thing go crazy. But we know that the affiliate program is going to make it go so much faster and grow viral than it ever could. And it's going to reward you incredibly well. Because remember, you're not just earning money, you're earning Sosana tokens. So you're actually earning what we believe, no projections, but what we believe will be an incredibly viral growing asset in your wallet as you bring people into this affiliate program. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mark. Thanks for having me.
My goodness. Let me do two things. First, I want to bring Brian up to share some thoughts, and then I want to bring Dr. Hakeem to share his thoughts. And Brian, what's your thoughts about everything that Mark just shared?
So first of all, again, Mark's very modest. I think at least 3 times in there he said I'm not a genius, but I think he's kind of contradicted himself multiple times by what he just shared with people. But I will tell you, Mark is really modest in about one thing, and he's very subtle about something. And I'm going to be about as subtle as a sledgehammer right now about something that he kind of brushed over. And it was interesting because someone actually texted me, someone who's on this call that I know texted me and said, so that voter thing sounds great, but I guess it's only beneficial if I get good enough or educated enough to vote for the right token. And I said, no, just wait, right? Because what I want everybody to understand is something that Mark said that maybe you didn't catch. There are no losers in this process, and I'm going to tell you why there are no losers. Because yes, at 7 o'clock they're going to announce who the winning project was. And yes, because they announced who the winning project was, right then at that point, the people who voted for the right project are going to know, hey, in an hour, there's going to be a purchase of those tokens from that project. Let's just call it Project X. And I'm going to be one of the lucky people who gets rewarded with tokens from Project X. And that is awesome. But what you might be missing is that won't happen for an hour. So even if you didn't vote for the right project, even if you didn't nominate the right project, you know which project won. And you also know, and Mark said, he's very careful about, and I like that because he wants to make sure he's compliant and we're not doing projections, but he did use an example of what if we had $100 million in sales and transactions, I should say, in a 2-week period, and that was $1 million that was going to be in that degen voter bonus. If you knew that there was going to be $1 million purchase into a low market cap token 1 hour from now, what should you do? If you don't know the answer to that question, this is probably not for you.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say. That's about as blunt as I can be. But for all of those who know what you should do, you can imagine what's going to start to happen as the Sosana community starts to get bigger and bigger.
Yep.
As people start to realize that we have a very legal way of providing people some real intel that allows them to have a real chance of having perpetual portfolio profits. Because even though you didn't win, doesn't mean you can't go buy those tokens in advance of all of the momentum that will come afterwards, not just from the Sosana mechanism, but from the public seeing all these people pile into this token and wanting to jump on board afterwards. So guys, there will never be a loser in the voting process. There will simply be those who get the extra rewards because they picked the right token, and those who get incredible rewards because they're smart enough to go buy the token within that hour, knowing what's about to happen. And I think that alone as a mechanism is going to take us viral super, super
Yes.
fast. And it's going to create some real serious success. So that's all I'm going to say. Mark didn't want to say it. I said it. That's it. I'm the one that gets in trouble. I'm going to shut up now.
No,
I'm gonna
not
turn it
trouble
back
at
to
all.
you.
No trouble at all, because the thing is, that is one part of the mechanism that you're right, brings out that synergy. And what it does for the community, think about it. Unlike any other crypto project, it keeps them coming back like every
Mhm.
2 weeks. Even if they don't win, you're right, you can't lose. Now, we're not sitting here to tell you that, oh, you got to go buy the token because you're going to make money. That's not the point. We're not
Right.
some pump and dump vehicle. That's not our point. Remember, the purpose of Sosana is to bring out quality projects, not pump and dumps. So these, hopefully, the goal, because sure, I'm sure the community is going to pick some bad projects. That's going to happen too, right? But the goal is to greatly increase your odds of finding quality projects. And when that happens, and then we go into and we uplift that project with a DGen voter bonus wallet and just, potentially explodes the price and actually moves the market. That's where it gets really fun. When it does that, folks, there's nothing stopping Sosana when that happens. And we believe it's inevitable. Like, that's, again, I can't make projections. I'm just telling you what I believe. No predictions, but I do believe that that aspect of this is inevitable, because it's like, why wouldn't people keep coming back? And the bigger it gets, therefore the bigger it gets, the faster it grows. So that's kind of that concept. And if you can embrace that and understand it, if you're not getting that, if you don't see what I believe is the inevitability of this project growing like that, then you need to get some questions answered.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm,
I love what you just said, Mark.
amazing.
It's about no longer using luck as your business strategy, right? Luck is not a business plan. I don't know if
Right.
anybody knows that. Like, hey, what's your business plan for the future? I'm gonna buy lottery tickets. That's not a good business plan. This is about abandoning luck and embracing leverage, leveraging this community, leveraging that. Because remember, you have a whole bunch of people piling into this community, becoming more and more educated over time. So therefore, learning how to evaluate projects better and better and better, which
Yes.
means
Yes.
the projects that we're picking, we become sharper and sharper at picking them, and greatly,
Yep.
as Mark just said, increasing your odds
Hmm.
greatly in your favor of you ending up with a real portfolio with real token projects in there that are going to make a real difference in the world and ultimately increase your profits at the exact same time. So, Mark, thanks
Exactly.
so much, man. Awesome explanation, bro. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Brian. I appreciate
the
you.
time to hear from you.
All right. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to bring on one of our team leaders, and of course, we've got 40 leaders on this call right now. And one of the things you're going to want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is get in contact with the person who invited you. RSVP your spot. Make sure they have your contact information, and when the time is right, we'll make sure that you get enrolled and you're in position to hit the ground running with this project. But I want to bring on Dr. Hakeem to share your thoughts, Dr. Hakeem, of everything that you've heard this evening. And you
Mark.
are muted right now. There you are.
Hey, Mark, how are you guys doing?
Good, good.
Doing awesome.
First of all, Mark Ross, what an excellent way to communicate this opportunity.
Thank you.
I've had the pleasure of working with Mark and Brian in some projects, and to be able to see what this project has done and is about to do, I'm excited to share this with the community. You guys, this project reminds me of two different things. I don't know if you guys know the history of what happened with GameStop when they developed the community, they were able
Yeah.
to do a huge move in the marketplace that changed the way that a lot of businesses do evaluations today. Their community made a huge statement, and then to put us in a position to where we become this Shark Tank, if you allow me to say that way, of new crypto opportunities. When you combine the education that you get with an opportunity like this, and in addition to being able to build a community, communities like this cost you anywhere from tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars to be put yourself in position to be able to see programs that are launching, but to be a part of a community like that is invaluable. And then to put yourself in position where you're being educated the whole way. So we're excited about this. I think this is an excellent opportunity, especially for people who are new. And then the whole idea that when I first saw this And I laugh because, like you said, Mark, everybody has had an experience of losing in this space. And because we
Yeah.
care so much about the people that we serve, no one wants to see people that they care about losing their hard-earned dollars. So if we can all pull our resources together in combination with that you have with the being able to share this with the affiliate program, to build the community and to vote and learn about new projects, makes this a win-win in addition to everything that Brian just added to what you said, Mark. So to all my
Thank you,
folks that
brother.
are listening out there, this is just exciting. Ever since I heard about it this weekend, I told a couple of the leaders that's on this call with me that I invited that I haven't really been able to sleep, and they know me when it comes to projects. You guys, I scrutinize them very well because we don't like to see the people we care about, that we love, that
Right.
represent so many people lose money. And then when you have a community, when you're transparent and you can share the good and the bad, you
Hmm.
can't do nothing but trust that process, that opportunity, and being able to work. Lastly, I gotta say this: to be able to work with so many tremendous individuals that I personally know that care about the welfare of people, and I'm just excited. So I just wanted to add that, Mark. I wanted to thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts, and I'm excited about this project.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Dr.
Great
Hakeem.
to have you.
And yep, ladies and gentlemen, I think that you know how we do things. And what you see right now is literally a dream team. We call ourselves the Avengers because what we're going to do is we're going to break debt. We're going to enable people to achieve their economic dreams while they're learning about this space. So we are extremely serious. If you know anything about our history and what we have done in other projects, then you need to strap in and get yourself ready for something extraordinary. Not only are we going to create an overview presentation, not only are we going to do them on a regular basis, we're going to give you an opportunity to build the foundation over these coming weeks as we prepare for the launch. And you're going to know exactly how you're going to want to position yourself once we get the green light. And so if you're interested, you like what you heard, and you're interested in being a part of this, reach out to the person immediately after this call. Tell them to count you in. They're going to put you on your list, and we're going to set up a private signal group. We'll get you inside of that group. Only serious members are going to be allowed in that group, and we're going to do something extraordinary. I'm interested in only one thing. I'm interested in breaking records and saving lives. If you feel the same way, type a 10 in the chat box.
Mhm.
Type a 10 in the chat box. And so we don't want a regular win. We're looking for some major life changing wins where you can generate the type of money to pay your house off, to pay all your debts off, to send your kids to college, to travel around the world, to live your dream life. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're going to accomplish in this goal. You just watch and see. I can't wait to hear the testimonies, life-changing testimonies that are going to come out of this amazing project. All right,
Amen.
so this is the first call, ladies and gentlemen. There's only 40 people. You're going to be able to see for yourself. We're going to have hundreds of people in this project. You want to make sure you position yourself first. All right, all right. That's all I've got. Back to you, Keith. Keith Lacey, back to you, sir.
Yeah, Mark, what a great call. The Avengers, man, I like it. I like it, man. I tell you, that's yeah, we're excited about this, and like I said, I truly believe this is going to be a household name one day. And just I appreciate working with Brian and Mark Ross and David. Um, these guys are just excellent business partners, and we love it. And we're excited to go into something like you said. It's going to be a life-changing project, and it's extraordinary. This is not just your ordinary opportunity. This is an extraordinary opportunity, especially a way to not only build the Sosana portfolio, but to build projects around the world that come to us that we can vet through the nominating process and build those portfolios also. What a dream. Who doesn't want to build a portfolio? Can you imagine having a portfolio of getting in on the ground floor of Ethereum and Bitcoin and Solana, uh, BNB, and all these tokens that we know that's in the top 20? Well, some of these tokens are going to be one day in the top 20, we believe, and not all of them, but a lot of them are going to be very good, and it's going to be able to build a fantastic portfolio of something that we buy early on because of this voting process. And even if we're not the voting winners, like somebody said earlier, we know because we can see it through the DApp who's going to come and buy this the winning token. So yeah, so I'm excited. So yeah, back to you, Mark. It's your call, brother. Anything I can do to help, let's do more Zooms and one-on-ones, whatever you guys need to do. We're here to help.
Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you also, Dr. Hakeem, and all of you who joined us. This is just the very beginning. We're really excited about what we have here. We believe we have got something special, and we're looking forward to being in partnership with all of you.